Hi children, welcome back to our channel Rise and Shine. Yes, in today's episode we are going to see about another great leader. So, in yesterday's episode we completed the story of Mahatma Gandhi. We saw the life of Mahatma Gandhi. And today I am going to tell you about our first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru. Yes, you remember? Yes, our Children's Day. We celebrate Children's Day on November 14th, isn't it, children? Why do we celebrate that day? Because it is the birthday of Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru was born on November 14th, 1889 in Allahabad. Okay, children. So, he was a brave, kind and generous person. He was our first Prime Minister. Yes, we are going to know about him. You know, he was very close to Mahatma Gandhi, and they all together attained our freedom, Indian independence. He was the first Prime Minister, and he was the Prime Minister for 17 long years. Yes, my dear children, he worked to make India happy and prosperous. He worked for the unity of the people belonging to different races, religions, and communities. And he is also known as a peacemaker for the world. Yes, he worked till the last. He died working. Throughout his life, he loved the people very greatly, and they also in turn loved him. He loved children especially, and they loved him, and so they called him Chacha. Chacha means uncle. So Nehru got the name Chacha Nehru. He loved roses. Every day he used to wear a rose on his kurta. So, children, I have given you a very brief explanation about our first Prime Minister, our Chacha Nehru. So, shall we go deeply into the chapter? Yes, children. So, you can see Jawaharlal is very, very, very loved by children. He loves children as well as children love him. Yes. You can see here Jawaharlal Nehru was born to Motilal Nehru. Motilal Nehru was the father of Nehru. He was a well-known and a prosperous lawyer. So Motilal was the father of Nehru. And Nehru's mother was Swarupa Rani, a pretty, sweet and noble woman with a doll-like face. She was very pretty. The Nehrus were Brahmins who had come from Kashmir. You all know Kashmir is the very loveliest part, of course, now in troubles, and recently we have got a solution for that, and after many struggles, poor people of Kashmir were released, but still we are afraid to go there. So they lived in Delhi first, and then moved on to Agra. Motilal was born there. Yes. Now, Jawaharlal was a very, very brilliant student. Motilal was a famous leader also. Yes. Now, Allahabad is a historic city. It stands as the meeting place of three rivers, the Ganga, the Yamuna, and the Saraswati, which for a long time has only flowed underground. The meeting of the three rivers is called Sangamam, Triveni Sangamam, and that is where Jawaharlal was born. Pilgrims from all over India go there to bathe in those rivers. Yes, Allahabad was also famous for many years, the capital of the United Provinces of Agra and Awadh. My dear children, you can see the house of Nehru's. This is Ananda Bhavan, that means abode of happiness. Anand Bhavan had many rooms, large lawns, and a swimming pool. So, Jawaharlal Nehru had a good family background. They were very rich. Yes. Motilal was a great host living in English style. Yes, Motilal was rich, and so everything at home their pomp and style was very rich. Jawaharlal Nehru was the only son of the family and the only child for many years, and was the object of much love. His sister Swaroop, who is now famous and well known as Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit, was born in 1900. Jawaharlal was born in, yes, November 14th, 1889. So, 89 to 1900, how many years? 11 years after Nehru, Swaruparani was born. And a second sister, Krishna, was born in 1907. So, with Swarup much younger than him and Krishna not yet born, Jawaharlal was a lonely boy. His childhood was very nice because he was the only child for so many years. Motilal visited Europe several times and bought many things from there, such as cycles and motor cars. After his first visit in 1899, he was expelled from his community because he would not perform the purification ceremony. Jawaharlal was brought up like an English boy. He rode a tricycle or a small pony. He was very interested in horse riding. So, learned Brahmins were engaged to teach him Hindi and Sanskrit, but with little success. He did not like them. So, he was sent to St. Mary's Convent School. After 6 months, he was removed from the school and was then coached at home by an English tutor. So, Jawaharlal learned at home. He had an English teacher, and that was Mr. Ferdinand Brooks, a young man in his 20s. So, under the guidance of Brooks, Jawaharlal read novels, romances, and books on religion and science. He liked to read books, so he read many storybooks. He did many experiments in a crude laboratory and played with magnet and geometry box. He developed a taste for riding and became a good horseman. He loved swimming also. He played cricket and tennis. Yes, Jawaharlal riding a cycle. His father used to bring all this from his foreign trips. So, you can see Jawaharlal growing up as a rich boy. He was a rich boy. So, Jawaharlal's childhood was very good. His father Motilal was himself a man of action. Jawaharlal was just like his father. So, he was at ease in the English language. He could speak English very well because of his teacher. Though he did not like Englishmen to rule over Indians, Japan and Russia were fighting each other at that time. So, Jawaharlal was growing and was now 14. There were changes in the family household. So, Motilal's brothers had died and Motilal had brought up their children. These elder cousins of Jawaharlal were now leaving the common home, and the lonely boy was lonelier than ever. So, at the age of 14, you can see Jawaharlal Nehru was sent for education to England when he was 15 years. Their family set sail for England. His father, his mother, his baby sister, and he. Jawaharlal was admitted in a famous public school at Harrow. So, here is a picture of Jawaharlal Nehru as a scout in the Harrow school. Yes, a cadet. You know, there were NCC bulbuls like that. So, he was a cadet in the Harrow. So, Jawaharlal was, as he grew up, he took an interest to politics. Yes, he grew up to be a very good young man. And when he came back to India, he studied in the Cambridge University. Yes, he wandered about the big courts and the narrow streets of Cambridge. He was there for 3 years. He also studied for the natural science tripos. He took his subjects as chemistry, geology, and botany. He met many people at Cambridge and during vacations in London who talked about books, literature, history, politics, and economics. Jawaharlal life was filled with work and games and amusements. Now, the political struggle in India stirred him. Yes, Indians in Cambridge had a society called the Majlis, and Jawaharlal Nehru attended the Majlis debates but hardly ever spoke there. He was shy. During Jawaharlal's time at Cambridge, some famous Indian leaders visited the Indian students and talked to them. The Indian students felt superior to the British students because they thought there was a wider culture and they could take a broader view of things. among the Indian students of that time. Some were to become well known leaders, while some joined government service. In 1908, Jawaharlal had a brief vacation in India. He came to India. In 1909, Motilal went to Europe and Jawaharlal joined him. Father and son saw Count Zeppelin arrive in his new airship in Berlin, and they saw aviation feats in Paris. Why I am telling all this is because even at an early age, Jawaharlal had a wide experience because he went around with his father. Jawaharlal was 20 when he took his degree at Cambridge with second class honors in the natural science, and you can see Jawaharlal as a barrister, the young barrister Jawaharlal. Jawaharlal was apt to spend money lavishly. As they were rich, he spent money as he liked. Motilal mildly remonstrated with him. Once Jawaharlal wanted to buy a motor car, but Motilal rejected the idea because he was afraid of accidents. At another time, Jawaharlal had the narrowest escapes while plunging into a mountain torrent in Norway. Torrent means a river. So, Jawaharlal's childhood and youth before he entered the politics was completely enjoyment. So, my dear children, we saw how Jawaharlal's life was as a rich person born with a golden spoon. I mean, he was born in a family which was very rich. Born with a golden spoon means not with a real spoon, but it is because he was born in a rich family. Okay, children? So, we saw the life of Jawaharlal Nehru, his childhood, and how he became a barrister. Barrister means lawyer from Cambridge University. Okay, children, in tomorrow's episode, we will see about his coming back to India. Okay, children? Bye. Love you all.